doesn't work out for Rand. But nor should it necessarily. Yeah, he's a bummer.
Major bummer. And I know you and I have talked about this before, but I think you didn't get to meet him, and I think you said that he's a weed farmer in Oregon or something?
I think he is, yeah. So I might have met him. Just through this line of work, yeah.
So as star and executive producer, tell us about bringing it to the screen with both those hats on, in a way, and then why you also wanted to do this project so much. What was it about it?
There was a few things. I should first say this hair is for a role. I feel like I need to personally explain it to everyone. I'm playing a guy having like a midlife crisis, and in turn I look like a guy having a midlife crisis. And it is, it's a weird job we have at times. So it's, that's where we're at. But yeah, it's a story, it's largely based on this Rolling Stone article where kind of the whole story was filled out for the first time, and I had a similar experience to I think what you were describing, where I was young when the tape came out, and I had like a very what I thought was clear perspective of the story behind it, and then I realized that I had a completely different, my perspective was wrong, and that I did not know the truth, I did not know the full story, and the fact that I didn't just spoke to so many cultural things that are so relevant. The fact that this just like, even as we were casting the show, I remember showing up to rehearsals and the other actors would be like, she didn't release the tape herself? I'd be like, no, the whole part of the show is that like to this day people didn't realize it, and it was, and every time someone said that, it just spoke more and more to like what I thought was highly interesting about this show, is how this entire kind of like cultural false narrative was like accepted in a lot of ways and kind of permeated to the time that the show was released, essentially. And so that's why I think like globally I thought it was a very interesting story. I thought the characters were incredibly fascinating. And I also am a huge fan of kind of like dumb guy crime movies, I guess. And there's like a whole side of this that is very much that, of this kind of like bumbling in over their head, person who really feels like they're in the right even though they couldn't be more wrong, and really feels like they have a smart plan even though they couldn't have a more stupid plan. And I found that to be a very interesting character, and it was not like anything I'd really done. And as we were making this, as we were developing it, the fact that I was going to play him was not, it doesn't really come up. I kind of we'll make these things up, we'll develop them and then see if I fit into them by the time we're trying to sell them, essentially. But it seemed like I could play that role, and it was an interesting role to play. That was, I think, something I grappled with, was how sympathetic to make him. I know inherently, for better or worse, and I come across sympathetic on screen. If you met me, you would hate me, trust me. But on screen, I know that I can make characters quite likable, and that was something that I was trying to thread the needle with, of how kind of dislikable versus, unlikable versus sympathetic this character should be, and I didn't think he should be overly sympathetic, but at the same time, I think it's interesting to understand where he's coming from, which was, not the best place, but if you're, to him, a truthful place, which was, he thought he was wronged by the universe and stealing these people's, comically large safe, that would somehow correct things, but that's not what you should do.